Wellington, Sophie said. Where is Wellington? Your head is full of squashed flies, the giant said. Wellington is in New Zealand. The human beans in Wellington has an especially scrumdiddlyumptious taste. So says the welly-eating giant. What do the people of Wellington taste of? Sophie asked. Boots, the giant said. I love it. You're never too old for it. Roald Dahl, one of the most beloved children's writers of all time that us grown-ups can enjoy too. He has written so many classics that have just stood the test of time. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Fantastic Mr. Fox, James and the Giant Peach, Witches, Matilda, and the BFG. Don't believe me, says so in the book. The world's #1 storyteller. Absolutely adore these stories. So much humor and imagination. No wonder children even today pick them up and just fall in love with these books. And I'm so excited. Today, I am going to the Roald Dahl Museum and Story Centre in Great Missenden.
Well, I'm here in Great Missenden now. It was only a 40-minute train journey from Marylebone Station. Make sure to keep a hold of your golden ticket from the train, because this, along with this, is going to get you 2 for 1 at the museum. Make sure, if you can, get the train after 10 a.m. because that's going to get you a cheaper deal on your return ticket. Well, it's really hard to miss. The BFG is showing us the way. It's only a 5-minute walk, pretty much straight from the station to the museum through a really, really cute town that I can't wait to explore. But first, we're going inside. This is probably one of the coolest parts of the museum. Roald Dahl wrote all of his stories in his writing hut, and they've recreated it in the museum. The original's still on his property, just as he had left it. You can come in, look at all the things like that would be on his table. Looking for a photo opportunity, you can sit in this really cool replica of Roald Dahl's writing chair. He had a board just like this one that he wrote Matilda, BFG, and all those other wonderful stories. So you can sit down with the camera pointed at you, look like the man himself. There is lots to do at the Roald Dahl Museum. There's the 2 galleries that explain all of Roald Dahl's life through pictures and artifacts, which is really interesting to have a look through. And then there's the Story Centre with tons of interactive activities for the kids and also the kids within us all. Once you're done the museum, don't think that your day in Great Missenden is over. On your way out at the reception, you can grab these 2 pamphlets to help you explore the town that Roald Dahl held very close to his heart. You can have the village trail and the countryside trail. So we're going to do the village right now before setting off into the pristine English countryside. Behind me is the post office that would receive up to 4,000 letters from children all around the world to Roald Dahl. And it still collects mail for him today, but also you can send him an email as well. And right behind us, so much Roald Dahl history on one corner, we have the library that is featured in Matilda, the library that Matilda would go hide away from her horrible parents and read hundreds and hundreds of books. Right in there. This street is just filled with inspirations from Roald Dahl. This really adorable garage here is featured in Danny, Champion of the World, and just one building over, this beautiful house over here, it was featured in the BFG. This is Sophie's orphanage that the BFG finds her at the beginning of the story. You can almost imagine him walking down this street in the middle of the night and picking her out of these windows up at the top. I just climbed up a great big hill to this beautiful church and thought I would sit down for a minute on this bench. And oh my goodness, what's this? It looks like the BFG was here. Oh, there's another one. Let's follow, let's see where it goes. There's notes, pencils, flowers, things from admirers who have come from all around to come visit the final resting place of Roald Dahl. I'm here myself to pay my respects and say my thank yous for all the lovely stories he's left to the children of the world. So after a very scrumptious pub lunch, we're now going to be doing the countryside trail. I have to say, you really should come to Great Missenden in the autumn because the leaves here are fantastic and I think just adds so much atmosphere to your day out here. I think going to Great Missenden and visiting this museum has not only taught me more about Roald Dahl the man, but I think the most important thing I'm walking away from this experience is just a greater appreciation of these books, because now I know the inspiration behind them. I got to walk through Fantastic Mr. Fox's forest and see all these buildings that made their way into the books as well. So I think going back and reading them again, not only as an adult, but having been to Great Missenden, I think is going to give me a totally new experience with these books. And as the train is taking me back to London, I'm going over in my head and I can't decide what my favorite book is. It's so hard. I mean, The Witches is just so funny and wonderful. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was my first story, so I have a little bit of a leaning towards that. Matilda, I'd say, is also up there. Just the magic and beauty of reading that I think Roald Dahl was trying to communicate to children. So I can't decide. So what I need you guys to do is to, in the comments below, leave the name of your favorite Roald Dahl book, but I want you to defend your answer. I want you to convince me which is the greatest Roald Dahl book of all time. So I'm heading back home now. If you can't make it to Great Missenden and want to learn more about Roald Dahl, there's these two books that he's written himself, Boy, Tales of Childhood, and Going Solo, his adult years. So you can learn all about his life through his words. And of course there's going to be some laughs along the way. He doesn't tell a dry story, as we know from good old Roald. So thanks for coming along with me on this journey, and I hope to see you again real soon.